So now let's talk a little bit about your speed, because it's very typical to get started with running and start to feel like you need to be going faster or feel some sort of pressure to push harder. That happened to me because when I used to be running with marathon groups, I was usually running with people who were better runners than I, which really pushed me to keep up. But that wasn't a good thing because I learned how to train at that high heart rate, and that meant that I was burning a lot more glycogen for fuel as opposed to fat, which you have a whole lot more of. And that meant that I tended to just run out of gas really quickly. So what you want to do, based on some of the studying that I'm doing right now on this metabolic flexibility, is just as a ballpark, everybody's going to be a little bit different depending on what your resting heart rate is. People who are on beta blockers are going to have really low resting heart rates, but let's just say for the average person, you want to shoot for keeping your heart rate between 110 and 140. So that means that you can still be getting a really good training effect sometimes just from walking really quickly. So don't feel a ton of pressure to be able to just go out and blast out a 10-minute mile. What you want to do is keep building that base. That's what we talk about a lot when it comes to running, is what you want is a good foundation of an aerobic base, which means training in those lower heart rate intensities. Then when you decide to be a racer, then we'll talk about a different way to train. But for now, let's just try to keep everything to where you're working on that good solid base.